Hello everyone and welcome to my beginner series on how to paint basic layers on a miniature. Today we're going to be using this awesome little sculpt from Swamp Fox Miniatures, also known as Scavenger Toys and Collectibles on eBay. They were nice enough to reach out and ask me to paint a few of their figures for them, and I really jumped at the opportunity to make something for a small business owner who is like trying to bring more diversity and unique sculpts to the market, specifically the 132 scale figure range of World War II figures. I think this is like an awesome sculpt. He sent me 5 different sculpts, and in this video I'm going to show you how to apply base layers to this specific figure right here. So whoa. What we're going to do is take this guy to this, what I would call tabletop standard, using just 5 colors and a big old fat brush and a fine detail brush to get in and do some corrections. And then in subsequent videos, I'll show you how to take the painting a step further, add highlights and lowlights. The video itself will be, a great little tutorial on how to effectively, efficiently, and quickly get your miniature from this unpainted version to a primed and tabletop ready figure. So let's dive in. All right, so let's go over my list of tools. Everything you see in front of you is what I'll typically use in a standard painting session, and it all starts with the Army Painter wet palette here. I've got a lot of use out of this thing over the years. It's pretty much essential if you want to keep your paints moist and reworkable while you're painting. So it comes off. It's got this little top level tray and this interior tray as well, which is perfect for holding your paints and anything else you might be like dabbling with or using in the painting process. It's pretty great. But what the key feature is really is this this sponge inside the tray. So this is just a white sponge that gets covered with, they come with these packets of paper, and they're essentially just wax paper. However, these are a little bit different than the wax paper than I've seen in stores. They're not as waxy coated. They're just parchment paper. So the waxy paper that you get in stores has it's more water-phobic, or hydrophobic rather. So what you'll get is pooling of the water on the paper. And what I like about these that's a little bit different is they don't have that waxy coating, right? So when you actually put the water on here, it absorbs a little bit more, and some people like that, some people don't. It really depends how workable you want your paints. I'm just used to it at this point, although it is a bit more absorbent than the other stuff, so you have to be aware of that. If you go too wet, it can seep through, and you can get stains on your sponge. So I also have another one of these sponges to my right. It's pretty dried out, but this is what I use for cleaning my brushes while I'm painting. Comes in handy. I have a lot of these because I've bought a lot of these and been gifted a lot of these paper packs in the past. So what I'll do is I'll cover this in water in the sink, make sure that it's nice and flat, and then I'll use I have this Patco Freedom card. I just flatten everything out, and it'll stay nice and flat to the sponge, and I'll be able to reuse it for multiple sessions if I need to. But typically one of this size, this is on the smaller size for palettes, can get you through a small painting session, usually 1 or 2 miniatures, depending on like what you're actually doing with it. But this is perfect for me and my setup in terms of size and scale of my paint jobs, typically 1 at a time. Very, very rarely do I do like large batch paintings. So in addition to that, I've also got some magnification glasses. These are reading glasses that I got at Rite Aid. I got 3 of them for $9.99. This is the 2.75 magnification. So this is like the highest magnification that I've found in stores. I think they go up to 3. I just haven't picked any up yet. But this is the higher one. They also have, I think I have 1.5 magnification and 2. So 2.5 really helps with small stuff, especially if you're painting at 172 scale. But for 132 scale, it's also really helpful. For my brushes, I have this dry brush set of Nick Pro. These are dry brushes. Really, they're just cheap makeup brushes that go down, like they have different sizes. This is the number 3 that I'm going to use in this specific video. So the set comes in a box that looks like this. and you open it up, and this is the smallest size. This is the number 3, so they go down in increments of 13.5, 11, 9, 8, 7, 5. And I think this whole set was like $9. It was really inexpensive, and it is showing signs of being cheap, like it's starting to fray and stuff, but I kind of like how absorbent it is and how textural it is. I just think it's kind of fun and quirky to work with. It's great for getting down thick base coats very efficiently. So then turning to my number 1 brush, lately I've been using this Vallejo number 1 Pro Modeler. I just like the weight and feel of it. I have other number 1s as well. Green Stuff World paintbrushes are also very good. It's I believe it's just Kolinsky Sable Hair. I might be wrong with this specific brand. I'm not exactly 100% sure. I don't think it told you on the packaging. But this number 1 is great for just getting back in and cleaning up edge detailing and fixing all the mistakes that are common with this broader application of paint that we're going to be going over. But we'll get more into that as I show you the painting process. And then I also use old medicine bottles for stands for priming. So what I've got here is some tacky stuff that you use for mounting posters to the wall. But this stuff is great in a pinch for so many different applications. But what I'll do is I'll stick this on top of the medicine cabinet, stick the miniature on top like so, and then I take it outside and I can spray paint it, and it really doesn't go anywhere. It's especially sticky to resin, so you just have to be careful that when you really get it pressed on there, you're able to clean off all the resin really good afterwards, because it does stick to resin exceptionally well. The last thing here is my water cup, which is pretty much essential. It's pretty well loved at this point. You can see all the dried up paint inside, but it's pretty clean on the bottom because it's where I do all the scraping. But yeah, I like to start every paint session with a clean cup of water. And I make sure that I never eat or drink my paint water, because that's fucking gross. So up on screen here, you're going to see a list of all the paints that I use throughout this video. Everything is Vallejo brand, including the primer. So if you're ever tempted to ask me, what paints do you use? The answer will always be Vallejo. And there's a lot of different reasons for why I use Vallejo, but the main reason is really the consistency. Hey, hello, hi, it's me, James Viola, the man behind this tutorial. So I just wanted to quickly take a moment and talk to you a bit about spray paint and properly using it, because some people don't know how, and it can be very dangerous if you're not careful. So a couple things: don't be an idiot, spray outside. Don't spray inside your house. It's not a good idea. Unless you've got a well-ventilated room with some sort of a vacuum that can suck the air right out, don't do it. You need to really be careful with this stuff. Secondly, if you're concerned about fumes making yourself dizzy or any sort of toxicity in the air, consider getting yourself a half mask respirator and some goggles. I use it when I'm painting a lot, like spray painting a lot. If I've got a lot of miniatures to paint, which is very not often, right? So this comes in handy. It does not do a great job of getting out the smell, but you'll get a lot less toxic chemicals into your respiratory system. It comes with extra filters and everything. I've been using this thing for a while, but I always spray outside. So you can see that my filters have never been changed. They're still pretty clean. So it kind of gives you an idea of how much you're actually getting in there. These are not black, even with over a year of using this pretty consistently. So yeah, spray outside, make sure that the weather conditions are appropriate, and always check the warning safety labels on your spray paint. Also, another fun thing that I like about Vallejo, their spray paints come with 2 nozzles on top, so you can change them out. And what they do, there's 2 different sizes, there's 2 different colors. One's white, which is this one, and then there's one that's in this can right here that has a black tip, and it shows you on the can that the black tip can be replaced, and that will help regulate the flow of spray paint, so you can retain those very minor details in miniatures, which is awesome. The whiter cap, like the little white cap here, is going to give you a thicker, heavier flow. Like it's going to be spraying just much broader and denser, so it's better for covering terrain, things like that. Whereas the black tip will be great for miniatures, specifically the figures. So yeah, be smart. Wear a mask if you've got any sort of respiratory issues. Follow the instructions, the warning instructions on the label itself, and check out some other videos online if you're really not sure how to do it, because temperature And distance from the miniature as you're spraying is really important to achieving a nice, clean, smooth finish. All right, be safe. Let's get back to the painting demonstration. And now finally, we're getting to the painting portion of this video. I grabbed my big fat number 3 brush and I started to add a little bit of water to the paint palette, mixing that in with the French Mirage blue, and then applying that to the pants in a nice liberal coat. You might need 2 coats here, so give it a couple minutes to dry. Acrylics dry really quickly on figures, especially once they've been primed. So you'll be able to tell after one application if you need to go in and add more and really make sure your coverage is clean and consistent. Paint density is really great with Vallejo paints. The darker colors cover really well. You might find that you don't need multiple coats. I find that black undercoats are very forgiving, especially for beginning painters, because the blacks sort of just fill in as shadows, which is awesome. So here you see me blocking in the trousers and the jacket with French Mirage blue and German uniform, and it looks really great. I'll let those dry, assess the situation later, and determine if I need a second coat. Then next I'm going to move into using beige red for all of the flesh. It's a great Caucasian mid-tone that I've found really works and covers well over black primer. So now that all the flesh tone is done, I'm going to use Vallejo's flat brown and paint the rifle, the various straps and pouches, as well as the canteen and his hair with a Vallejo number 1 brush. At this point, I like to move into a more controlled brush application, so using a smaller brush tip is going to give me a lot more accuracy. I realize that this might be intimidating to some people, and a lot of people out there have shaky hands or bad eyesight, but what's great about this specific process is that you've got your base colors all blocked out, and if you do have any overlaps, you can always further your practice by going in and touching over them with the previous color. Right now we've only got 5 colors on our figure, and each one of them has a great paint opacity and density, so you'll be able to go in and make those fine details with really out any issue. And each figure is its own painting journey and its own has its own quirks, but you know, you'll learn how to hold and move around the miniature with ease the more you practice, and this is a great miniature to practice on. And lastly, I'm going to go back in with Vallejo Black and hit all the spots that are supposed to be that color, namely the straps of the ammo pouches themselves, the boots. In this instance, I left his helmet black because I thought it looked cool for the purposes of the design. And then anything that would be metal on the gun or on the figure itself is also going to be hit with that black color. And lastly, I'm going to go back in with those 5 paints that we've been using through this whole video and give the miniature any final touch-ups, making sure I go back over any areas that overlapped in places they shouldn't, and really get ready for the next level of painting this miniature, which is the addition of highlights, lowlights, face details, etc. And with that, we are done. Here's a look at the miniature before we started, and here's a look at it now that we're done. I want to give a very special thank you to Jason at Swamp Fox Miniatures for reaching out and setting up this partnership. It's been a real awesome experience, man. Thank you so much. Hey, it's me again. If you want to get your hands on this miniature or any of the other great sculpts from Swamp Fox, head on over to their eBay store. I'll put the link in the comments down below. It's down this way. Scroll down. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your dad. Subscribe to the channel. Check out some of my other painting videos. I got a whole bunch of stuff up on there. Filtered by the shorts to see some like real fun content I've made over the past 2 years. And I think that's everything. I'll see you guys in the next video where we take this miniature to the next level.